The Bold and the Beautiful, a tragic reconciliation and the shifting dynamics of Hope and Steffi. In a twist that has left fans gasping, The Bold and the Beautiful has delivered a moment of reconciliation that no one could have predicted. After months of fierce rivalry, professional battles, and personal betrayals, Hope Logan, who had long been at odds with Steffi Forrester, finally uttered the words that Steffi and Ridge had been waiting to hear for so long. "I'm sorry and I was wrong." This six-word apology marked a dramatic shift in the ongoing conflict between these two women, whose rivalry had once seemed impossible to overcome. What led to the sudden and surprising change in Hope's stance? The answer is both heartbreaking and transformative, as it all centers around the devastating health crisis of Liam Spencer and the ripple effects it has had on everyone involved. The catalyst for Hope's unexpected apology came in the form of Liam's shocking diagnosis: a brain tumor that could not be surgically removed. This revelation shook not just Liam, but everyone around him. The gravity of the situation forced both Hope and Steffi to reevaluate what truly mattered, particularly when it came to their roles as mothers to Liam's children, Kelly and Beth. With Liam facing a life-threatening condition, both women found themselves reevaluating their past actions, their grudges, and the future they shared with him. This crisis in Liam's health forced a moment of introspection, and in the face of his imminent mortality, Hope found herself at a crossroads. She had spent so long holding on to her pride, but now, confronted with the potential loss of Liam, she realized that she had been wrong all along. The turning point came when Steffi, against Liam's wishes, disclosed his diagnosis to Hope. This decision created a tense, emotional confrontation at Brooke's house, one filled with raw emotion and lingering anger. Hope, devastated by the news, lashed out, questioning Steffi's motives and accusing her of overstepping boundaries. The fight was heated, but in that moment of shared pain, something unexpected happened. Instead of deepening the animosity between them, their shared grief and concern for Liam's health created a bond. Hope, in a rare moment of vulnerability, admitted her mistake. She apologized to Steffi, acknowledging that her past actions, her role in the Forrester Creations takeover scandal, had caused unnecessary division and pain. Hope realized that, in the face of a potential tragedy, the bitterness between her and Steffi had to end. "I was wrong, and I'm sorry," she said, and in doing so, she laid the foundation for a truce that no one, least of all Steffi, had ever expected. Steffi, though shocked by Hope's apology, began to see things differently. She had long viewed Hope as her rival, the woman who had threatened everything she had fought for. But as a mother facing the very real possibility of losing the man they both loved, Steffi understood that the animosity between them could no longer stand. In that fragile moment of shared vulnerability, Steffi accepted Hope's apology, but not just as a business rival. She accepted it as a fellow mother who wanted nothing more than to protect their children and provide them with a stable future. "We have to unite for their sake," Steffi said, referring to Kelly and Beth, who would need both their mothers in the challenging times ahead. It was a profound statement, a recognition that their daughters, who had already been caught in the crossfire of their feud, would need the support of both women in the uncertain days to come. As the reconciliation between Steffi and Hope began to take root, the fashion world was rocked by leaked images from the Forrester Creation set. These photos confirmed Hope's return to the CEO position at the company, signaling a shift in the Forrester dynasty. The visual symbolism of Hope standing beside Steffi, now working together as equals, was undeniable. The change was clear. The long-standing conflict between the two women had given way to a new dynamic, one rooted in cooperation rather than rivalry. Fans were left wondering how long this peace could last, and whether this new alliance could withstand the pressures of the world of high fashion. But while Hope may be experiencing a moment of redemption, the larger issues within the Forrester family are far from resolved. Brooke, who had been at the heart of the Forrester creation scandal, has largely escaped the professional consequences of her actions. However, her relationship with Ridge remains fragile, and much of their future depends on Hope's ongoing humility and commitment to maintaining the delicate truce she has forged with Steffi. Ridge, who has been caught in the middle of this turbulent battle, has made the surprising decision to leave town with Taylor. As the Forrester empire begins to stabilize, Ridge has opted to spend time with Taylor, away from the chaos that has plagued his life. This decision, while seemingly simple, raises further questions. Is Ridge simply looking for peace, or is there something more lurking beneath the surface? Is his departure connected to a more personal issue, such as his own health, or is it a quiet exit before saying a final goodbye? While the ceasefire between Steffi and Hope may seem sincere, it is still built on an unstable foundation. Several threats loom on the horizon, each of which could easily undermine the fragile peace between them. One of the most immediate threats comes from Luna, who views Hope's reinstatement at Forrester as a direct challenge to her influence over Finn. Luna, ever the opportunist, may attempt to sabotage the newfound alliance between Steffi and Hope, particularly if she feels her control over Finn is slipping. With Luna's ruthless ambition and willingness to manipulate those around her, she poses a serious danger to the fragile peace that has begun to form. But perhaps the most significant threat comes from Thomas Forrester. Spoilers for upcoming episodes hint at Thomas's possible return to Forrester Creations, this time as a creative partner to Hope. This reunion, if it happens, could have major implications for both Hope and Steffi. Thomas, whose past is filled with manipulation and deceit, has a history of sowing discord and undermining relationships. His return could create a conflict of interest for Hope, as her loyalty to Carter will undoubtedly be tested by her professional partnership with Thomas. Furthermore, Steffi, who has long been wary of Thomas's intentions, will undoubtedly struggle to trust him, especially if his return causes more rifts between her and Hope. The potential for betrayal and further division is high, and it remains to be seen whether the women can maintain their fragile truce when faced with this new challenge. The question on everyone's mind is clear. Is this a real reconciliation, or is it just a temporary alliance formed in the wake of tragedy? In the cutthroat world of high fashion and billion-dollar empires, even the most sincere intentions can quickly unravel. While Hope and Steffi may have reached a moment of understanding, the pressures of their careers, their personal lives, and the looming threats of Luna and Thomas will undoubtedly test the strength of their newfound partnership. Can this alliance endure, or will the forces working against them tear it apart? One thing remains certain. As Hope embraces a second chance, she must strike a delicate balance between renewal and humility. She must prove that her apology was not just words, but a genuine desire to rebuild the relationships she once destroyed. Steffi, on the other hand, must find a way to trust a woman who has caused her so much pain, knowing that the peace they've achieved may be short-lived. In a world where alliances shift with the wind and personal vendettas run deep, the future of Hope and Steffi's partnership is uncertain. Will they rise above the pressures that threaten to tear them apart, or will the weight of the past be too much to overcome? In the end, this story is not just about fashion, power, or rivalry. It's about finding beauty in the midst of destruction. When faced with death, even the most hardened hearts can find a way to create something beautiful from the wreckage. For Hope and Steffi, this journey will be one of constant challenges, but also one of unexpected growth. Whether they can sustain their alliance or whether the forces around them will tear it down remains to be seen, But one thing is clear: the road ahead will be anything but predictable. In the ever-turbulent world of the bold and the beautiful, where relationships are tested, power struggles are frequent, and family bonds are continuously strained, the saga of Hope Logan's redemption and Brooke Logan's fall from grace has captivated viewers for months. As Hope navigates a path of redemption after the Forrester Creations scandal, the tension surrounding her mother, Brooke, continues to simmer beneath the surface. While Hope works hard to repair the fractures in her relationship with Steffi and her position at Forrester, Brooke remains at the heart of a larger storm, facing the consequences of her actions and the damage they have inflicted on her family, especially her already fragile relationship with Ridge. Brooke has somehow managed to escape the direct professional consequences of the Forrester Creations debacle, a situation that rocked the company and forced significant changes in its leadership. Despite her role in the scandal and the emotional fallout that followed, Brooke has managed to avoid facing the harshest of professional repercussions. However, the personal cost of her actions has been far steeper. The bond between her and Ridge, once one of the most enduring in the Forrester family saga, has been deeply scarred by the events surrounding the takeover. And the stability of their relationship now rests entirely on the shoulders of Hope's humility and her willingness to make amends for the chaos she played a part in. Ridge's feelings of betrayal and disappointment in Brooke run deep, and while he has shown moments of tenderness, the damage has already been done. He is emotionally distant, and the cracks in his marriage to Brooke continue to widen. Brooke finds herself constantly trying to atone for her mistakes, hoping that Ridge will once again see the woman he fell in love with. But with each passing day, it becomes clearer that the future of their relationship may not be as simple as a heartfelt apology or a gesture of goodwill. Amidst the tension between Brooke and Ridge, a more significant shift is quietly taking place. Ridge has made a life-altering decision. He chooses to leave town with Taylor, a decision that has sent shockwaves through the Forrester family. After months of turmoil and endless emotional battles, Ridge feels the need to step away from the chaos and spend time with Taylor, a woman with whom he shares a deep connection. But Ridge's decision to leave Los Angeles, to retreat from the family drama and focus on his relationship with Taylor, raises unsettling questions. Is Ridge truly seeking peace and quiet with Taylor, or is there something more hidden beneath the surface? As he makes this decision, there are hints of something darker, something more personal that Ridge is keeping to himself. Is Ridge facing a health crisis that he has chosen not to share with anyone, particularly Brooke and their children? Is he retreating not just for time with Taylor, but to come to terms with his own mortality? The possibility that Ridge's departure might not simply be an escape from the chaos, but rather a final, quiet goodbye looms large, adding a layer of tragedy and mystery to his decision. Ridge's usual strength, his ability to lead the Forrester dynasty and navigate the complexities of family, is now clouded by a sense of vulnerability. What could be behind his desire to leave? And what does it mean for his relationship with Brooke, the woman he has stood by for years? Is he preparing for something final, a health issue that no one knows about? Or is this simply a decision to spend his last days with the woman he has come to lean on in this time of uncertainty? While Ridge's potential health crisis remains unclear, the effects of his choice to leave with Taylor will undoubtedly ripple through the Forrester family. His departure signals a seismic shift in the power dynamics of Forrester Creations, with Steffi and Hope poised to step into roles of greater prominence. Hope's redemption, while still in its early stages, is undeniably tied to her role in the company. She has worked hard to regain her footing, and her return to the CEO position of Forrester has been met with both excitement and skepticism. The leaked photos of Hope in the CEO office have set the fashion world abuzz, signaling not just a personal victory for her, but also a potential shift in the direction of Forrester Creations. But even as Hope takes on more responsibility within the company, she is still deeply affected by her mother's mistakes. Her relationship with Ridge hinges on her continued humility and her ability to prove herself trustworthy. Hope knows that the future of Forrester Creations and her own standing within it rests on her ability to keep things steady, to avoid repeating the mistakes of the past. But even as she seeks redemption, the pressures of the company, her relationship with Carter, and the ongoing tension with Steffi will continue to challenge her at every turn. As Ridge's absence creates a power vacuum, the question of his eventual return is inevitable. Ridge has long been the central figure of the Forrester family, the anchor that has held them all together through the highs and lows of their business empire. Without him, the company faces new challenges, and the family must navigate a future that no longer includes his steady hand. Brooke, who has always depended on Ridge's leadership, now finds herself adrift. Her efforts to reconcile with him, to rebuild their relationship, are undermined by Ridge's decision to leave town with Taylor. The emotional distance between them grows with each passing day, and Brooke is left grappling with the realization that her mistakes may have cost her the love of the man she has spent her life fighting for. But Ridge's departure with Taylor is not just about him stepping away from Brooke. It represents a shift in the power dynamics of the entire Forrester family. With Ridge no longer in the picture, Taylor and Steffi are poised to take on more prominent roles, and Hope's place within the company will be further solidified. But while this new alliance between Hope and Steffi seems to be a positive step, it remains fragile. The old wounds between the two women, the years of rivalry and betrayal, are not easily forgotten. Even as they work together for the sake of Forrester Creations, there are questions about their true feelings toward one another. Is this alliance built on a foundation of mutual respect, or is it a temporary truce forced by circumstance? And what happens when the next challenge arises, when the next betrayal threatens to tear them apart once again? Meanwhile, Luna's role in this unfolding drama cannot be underestimated. Luna, always lurking in the shadows, sees Hope's reinstatement at Forrester as a direct threat to her influence over Finn. Luna, who has long manipulated Finn for her own benefit, views Hope's return to power as a challenge to her carefully crafted control. She will stop at nothing to undermine Hope's position and to regain the influence she once held over Finn. Luna's ambitions and ruthlessness make her a formidable foe, and her machinations could easily unravel the fragile peace between Hope and Steffi. With Luna poised to strike, both women must be on high alert, knowing that the battle for power within the Forrester family is far from over. In addition to Luna, the potential return of Thomas Forrester looms large. With Ridge absent and the company in a state of flux, Thomas's return could complicate things even further. While his creative vision has always been a valuable asset to Forrester Creations, Thomas's history of manipulation and deceit makes him a wild card. His return to the company as a partner to Hope will undoubtedly test her loyalty to Carter and her newfound trust with Steffi. As Thomas once again finds himself in the midst of the Forrester drama, his motivations and intentions will come into question. Can Hope trust him, or will he once again use his position to manipulate those around him? As the Forrester family navigates these challenges, the question of whether Ridge will return looms large. Will he reconcile with Brooke, or has his time with her truly come to an end? His departure with Taylor suggests that his future with Brooke may not be as certain as it once seemed. With his health potentially in jeopardy, Ridge's decision to leave might be more than just an escape from the family drama. It might be his way of saying goodbye. If Ridge's departure is indeed a final one, It will leave an indelible mark on the Forrester family, signaling the end of an era and the beginning of a new, uncertain future. In the world of high fashion and billion-dollar empires, nothing is ever truly stable. The Forrester family has weathered countless storms, but the challenges they face now are unlike anything they've experienced before. Ridge's absence, the shifting dynamics within the family, and the ongoing power struggles between Hope, Steffi, Luna, and Thomas will define the future of Forrester Creations. Can the family overcome these obstacles and rebuild what has been broken, or will the weight of their past mistakes be too much to overcome? Only time will tell.